Yeah, when you're feeling down and motivated in the midweek, we got the guys here to make your life complete. Little John, Brandon, Cody, Carly, they're coming in to keep you motivated all week. New episode, same time every week. Don't gotta wait long for the next one to release. So don't go away, sit down, take a seat, enjoy Midweek Motivation with John and Carly. Hey.
Midweek Motivation.
Let's go! That's it. There we go. Hey, look at that. We're live.
Oh, let's get to it then.
Yeah. Hey, man, I think you were called to be a news reporter.
Yeah.
The way you just did that with the papers
With
was
one
so good,
single piece.
right?
That,
I was like, they don't have to know that, right?
well,
Hey, welcome to Midweek Motivation, real conversations with real people about a very real God. It has been like far too long, right? One, it's been far too long since we've even had Midweek. So
I thought
we
it was
missed
gone.
last week. I know.
I didn't want to bring it up.
It's a little
but I thought
crazy.
we were done.
No,
Thought we got
it didn't
canceled
just disappear.
in
No,
our
we
third
didn't get
season.
we didn't get censored. We didn't get we didn't get canceled or anything like that. Just couldn't make it happen last week. Had some things going on, so didn't get to last week. And then the week before was Thanksgiving. We were out of the office, and which I had. It was so close, right? So a couple months ago, Hudson and I were looking at Washington Wizards tickets, right? We love basketball. Not a huge Wizards fan, but it's so close, right? And we were real close. There was a game that was Wednesday night, right before Thanksgiving, and tickets were like 12 rows back for like $15 a piece.
Wow.
Obnoxiously good deal. And I thought about it. I was like, man, I don't think your mom would like us to be gone the night before Thanksgiving,
And then be tired all day Thanksgiving.
right.
From
'Cause it was
driving
like
back.
I think it was like a 7:00 game, so we'd be driving back getting back at like 3 a.m. from DC. Like we probably shouldn't do that,
Yeah, probably not.
but it almost happened.
Well,
we were
that's
real close.
It's good we didn't get canceled, but if we
Yes.
did, we had a good run.
Right, yeah, it was a great run, 3 seasons. I was thinking one day I should probably do the count on how many episodes we've actually done. It's a
Yeah.
lot of
I
episodes.
bet it's 48, 40, 49 average a year.
Yeah, right about.
Since its inception.
Yeah, I mean we don't miss many throughout the week. Like there's a whole lot of episodes that happen.
Yeah.
So we missed you last week. So hopefully you missed us too.
I've missed y'all for
Yeah.
a month or two now.
Well, that was going to be my next thing. Like I've been gone for a while. I feel like I've been gone for weeks. I mean, I guess technically it has been weeks. And then, man, Cody,
I'm
your
back.
triumphant return, right? Welcome back.
Thank
Good
you.
to have one of the OGs.
Good to be back.
One of the OGs. There's a couple OGs. Benny, Michelle, what's going on? Levi. I didn't forget the intro. I forgot the intro. I didn't forget the intro. I did the intro.
There was no music
miss the intro?
in my ears.
No, there's never music in our
Okay.
ears. Hopefully it won't happen online. I don't know. You guys know the song anyways.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's all good. Man, Benny and Michelle, I got a happy face and a fist bump.
Nice.
Like, that's
Are we
good.
supposed to
Yeah.
do it back?
Can we do that? Be careful. It might look like gang symbols or something like that. Then we might actually get
Don't
canceled.
screen record that.
Yeah, please don't screen record that and put that out of context. Let's see if these other things are working. Hey, look at that. It works there too. What a good day. I like when things work.
Let's wrap it up now.
That's fantastic. Yeah, we'll just quit while we're ahead. Well, hey, if you're not already a part of our group, you can text the word motivate to 540-900-3838. That'll put you in our group. I think the last time we were together was the week right before Thanksgiving. We were talking, Christine was on, and we were talking about like Thanksgiving traditions and things, and I had no idea. So she was telling me there's this apparently really big Thanksgiving Day parade in Detroit. And so she sent me a link to it, and we flipped it on for a few minutes. And do you ever watch the Thanksgiving Day parade?
The
Like the Macy's, the big
yeah,
one?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do your kids like sit and watch it?
No.
Or is it like, oh, look, and then gone?
Yeah, if it's not Blippi or whatever else they're Paw Patrol, then they're not interested.
Yeah. Christian was excited because there was the Paw Patrol this year was Marshall and not Chase like normal. He was very excited. Apparently, it's the first time Marshall's ever been, in the parade.
I wonder if there's a rift between the Paw Patrol pups.
Yeah, maybe. Never mind. I won't say everything I was about to say. Man, it's probably bad that this is live sometimes.
Yeah.
Like it's really good, but there's probably some moments where
But you're learning. You caught yourself.
I am learning and growing. That's not always good. We usually give Dustin a hard time for like never knowing what he's going to say.
Yeah.
And like, it's harder. It's harder
when
than
the lights
people
come
think.
on.
Sometimes things just kind of flow out of your mouth. So, that's all right. But hey, today we are like in full swing of Christmas mode.
We are.
And if I was better at this, I meant to grab like one of the numerous Christmas decorations around the church.
6-foot tree.
Right? Right there. So you need to see us. Just peek right around.
Like the Christmas vacation. Little full.
Right.
Lot of sap.
I was talking to somebody. I think I was telling Carly or Dustin or somebody, like the church, the building itself, like feels so much better.
It does
at Christmas time.
Yeah,
right.
I think everything does, but especially the church.
Yeah, it's so much better decorated, right?
Yeah.
And we decorate really well. Like Christmas decorations are just really fun. Like Jeanette does a great job, and Jeanette and Megan and whoever else is involved in that.
It's a whole team.
Yeah, that whole team does a great job making the church look beautiful and all that stuff. It's just, man, the walls look so much more empty when you're like right after Christmas, when all the Christmas decorations go away, and there's not trees all over the place. It's just sad. So it's always fun to see the church building like all decorated up, and we've got our little manger scene out front that succumbed to the wind a little bit, because apparently when you're up on a mountain like us, you get hurricane force winds and
daily.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's fine. And then of course today it's raining like hardcore and like 60 degrees.
It's weird.
Why not? Why wouldn't it be? Right? That makes perfect sense. But there's some things coming up. Let's see what's coming up. It's like I made notes to it. What's coming up? Oh yeah, this Friday, a couple days from now, we have our Wonder concert.
Oh yeah,
right. Which I say ours, we're really just hosting it. Christine Kane, Lisa Harper, they'll be in the house with our buddy John Reddick. This will be at least his second time.
I know of two. Yeah,
coming back. He's got he'll be bringing his keyboard. And his awesome voice. Cool dude, too. We got to have him, I think, around about a year ago. A little less
Matt
than that.
Marr.
Yeah, that was a good time. That was a good show. So they'll be here Friday. I want to say tickets are like 7, or the concert starts at like 7. Tickets are still available. You can go to parkroanoke.com/Christmas. I think that's in there somewhere. I don't know. Speaking of our website, it is back up.
Is it the new improved?
It is new and improved.
All right.
Right. So we've been working on some updates, making some changes to the website, and then it was actually down for like a day and a half, and we were getting nervous. Like, okay, when's it going to come back up? Right?
I tried I haven't had a chance to try the phone tap thing on the back of the seats, and I tried it last night, and it didn't go to
work.
anything. And then Carly was like, "Yeah, it's kind of down." But then he sent me the link to the new website, and it's beautiful.
Yes, it's very cool. Carly did a great job putting that together, so I'll give him all the credit for that. And sneak preview, okay, sneak peek, new website and update to the app coming very, very soon. As soon as we get through all the review and all that stuff, because apparently there's a lot of red tape to put an app on the App Store.
I'm so technology illiterate. I didn't know there was a difference between an app and a website.
There is small difference, right? But that's okay. You don't have to know that, right?
Good.
It as long as it works, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it works now, kind of.
Right. Yes,
One
it
of
does
them.
work. Yeah. The app is, the new app will be launching here pretty soon. Probably the coolest thing about it is you're going to have a little bit easier way to view all of our content. Just right in the app. So all of Midweek will be up there. Our new show, What's Next, which we need to, hopefully we'll have a new episode coming out very, very soon about our last series.
I enjoyed the first one. It was nice. It was nice. Good.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, because Dustin and I were talking. We finished up and we're like, I don't know if anybody's going to listen to 35 minutes of us just talking.
It's good to see I mean, on a Sunday morning, you don't get. I mean, I know this is the reason for the show, What's Next, but you don't get to see the reason why we spent however many weeks in a story, or in a passage or a piece of scripture. And it was good to know like what Dustin was wanting to achieve with the entire sermon series, and what he wasn't necessarily able to like lay and spend a lot of time on, and what he was wanting to accomplish with that. I think it was interesting.
Yeah. And the cool thing is, so everybody think pastors like say everything that they wanted to say and still talk too long.
They definitely don't.
They don't. Like, you would be shocked if you've never been a part of that process and seen kind of the inside of like how messages get written and things, and at least most of them. Like, there is so much that gets left on the cutting room floor, right? So many things that get cut for time, or
even
just,
on the stage. Like Pastor
yeah.
John's famous for, I don't have enough time for this.
Shoot. Or this is older than dirt.
Yeah. Funeral.
Yeah, I love that. Man, I miss Pastor John.
I do
miss
too.
seeing him around. He does come around every once in a while. So
Good.
he is, I will tell you, he is on sabbatical and he is resting, but his mind is still on the church. He comes by and checks up on things, and it's very good. Like, I think he's disconnected as much as he is able, right? Because his heart is right here. Right? His heart's with the church still. So in case you're wondering where Pastor John's been, he has been on sabbatical, and he is enjoying his sabbatical, but he does miss being here. So.
And that's wrapping up soonish?
Soonish, yeah. So whatever 6 months from
February?
August 11th is, yeah. So February.
I don't know that he'll be here first. I mean, he'd probably be here.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't tell me all those details. I just see him. We did see him pulling out a Famous Anthony's the other day. So he
Still
is
got his routine.
Right. And I'll tell you too, the last time I talked to him, he did say he's been watching online and everything as well. So he's still a part of Parkway. He is still attending and worshiping alongside
Very
us
cool.
as well, and being able to disconnect a little bit too. So
Well, if you see this, you're the best there is.
we got to get a little more.
Yeah.
We got to turn a little bit more. We love you, Pastor John. We miss
do.
you. So that's coming up. Man, how did I get there?
I don't know.
That was a weird detour. I don't know how we got there. Let's see. So that's this Friday is a Wonder concert. Christine Kane, Lisa Harper. If you've never heard of either of them, I don't know much about Lisa Harper.
I know one of them has an Australian or New Zealand accent.
So that's Christine
That's
Kane.
worth coming for.
It's super cool. She's got a great accent. That's going to be a good time. And John Reddick puts on a great show.
Yeah.
Like, great worship leader, great musician, great artist. Just a good dude. So they'll be here Friday night. There is still time to get tickets. parkroanoke.com/Christmas. That's how I got there, because the website's working. That's how I got there. I always wondered how I got there. It's always good to figure out how you went on that rabbit trail and then go down another one explaining it. That's always good. Way to go. But you can go parkroanoke.com/Christmas. That'll let you know all the Christmas things going on. Other Christmas things, Christmas on the Mountain coming up this Sunday, just a couple of days away, the 15th, where I'm hoping for a little bit of snow, but like kind of warmish snow, right?
So warm it's almost artificial.
Right. There will be snow one way or another, whether we get, the natural God-given snow outside, or, maybe some somewhat man-made snow inside, right? That may or may not be happening.
Leave it at that.
Yeah. The other cool thing that's happening, well, it should be still happening. If it ends up not happening, if something changes, just forget I said this. But our preschool is actually going to be giving us a preview and a snippet of their Christmas program during the service. So don't miss that. That'll be a good time. And then we've got a special moment where our preschoolers are actually going to sing along with our worship team. Right?
We practiced that last night. It'll be fun.
It's going to be a good time. You looked like you were having a little too much fun playing it.
Oh, I downloaded an app that Marshall showed me, and I got to jingle some fake sleigh bells. So
that's fantastic. See, that's why we need to get you that whole little pad, so we can you can make all those sounds and all those cool things. One of these days.
Yeah. That's all right.
If the Lord wills. So that's coming up this Sunday. There's food. I want to say there was kettle corn.
There should be.
Kind of like last year's. All sorts of good things. So don't miss that. There was Santa's Workshop. I think that's something Jeanette said. I don't know. It's good. It's on the website.
Just show up.
Yeah, you're not going to want to miss it. It'll be a good day. And Dustin said the sermon's short, so if you want to,
all the more reason to come.
I mean, why not? Right? You get to see Cody play some Jingle Bells on his phone.
Maybe.
Kind of see him.
Yeah.
If you can see through his little cage. So that's coming up this Sunday, the 22nd. I'm excited about this. It was a great service last year when we did this. It was actually on Christmas Eve, but we're celebrating baptisms on the 22nd. It was really cool how many people chose to get baptized, in that Christmas time, Christmas season last year. I want to say we had over 20.
It was a lot, and all baptisms are special, but those just feel a little extra
Oh, it was good.
Anointed.
Yeah, and it was, man, Christmas Eve on a Sunday, celebrating baptism and worshiping together. Like, it
I loved
doesn't
it.
get much
So many
better than
people were upset, but I loved it.
right? I thought it was so cool. So we are celebrating baptisms again on the 22nd. Thank you. I knew that at one point. And then Christmas Eve
Yeah.
on the 24th.
Candlelight service.
Who knew? Candlelight service. One of the few like really traditional things we tend to do at Parkway, right? I think that's one of my favorite things about us is we're not locked into certain things because of this tradition, or we don't want to be this traditional. It's like we do the things that are right, right? The things that are right for us, we do them because they're right, not because it's this tradition or I like this.
And it's that much more meaningful when it's we're not doing this every Sunday. Like we have to wait all year for this. I love it.
Well, we were laughing the other day because we were looking at the picture that we used for the graphic. And it's like so much fire, and we had like 800 people in the sanctuary, right? Which it definitely seats that, but it is packed, right? And then you give all those people fire.
Some of them children,
right? Some of them children.
Some of them my children,
right? I'm pretty sure my kids were holding fire last year, and it's a cool look just to see all the little candles lit up in that room and all the people singing, of course, Silent Night and all that good stuff, and it's just a cool moment.
Yeah.
Right.
I have a tradition myself where as the candles are being lit, once they're all lit, I take a little discreet photo from the drum booth, and I've got them. There's some cool pictures, but I'm one of the few people that get to see it.
Yeah, you get the cool view. Right, that's fantastic. Yeah. So that'll be on the 24th, right? Christmas Eve. I'm looking forward to that, and I'm always upset that the smoke detectors don't go off. That seems unfair. Yeah. Like I promise they work.
We deserve
it. Set them off. Right?
I was here.
I set them off, and they go off when I put too much fog in the building, right? Yeah. But not when we have 800 candles.
Actual smoke.
Actual fire, right? So I promise our building is safe. It does work. But, just maybe we get a little grace.
My biggest fear is the disposal of the hot candles immediately after, because they just kind of go in a trash can. And so far, nothing bad has happened, but we're playing with thin ice.
Right. One day, I think God looks out.
We're playing with fire.
We are playing with fire. Man, we need a little. I don't think I have one of those in there. I might have one programmed to the button. I don't know. Anyway, speaking of candlelight, not only are we going to be celebrating Christmas Eve with candlelight, I recently put up some lights on my house. And I was going to do it a couple weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, but it was like 20 degrees.
And windy.
And I didn't feel like falling off my roof.
Yeah.
Right?
You want to do that when it's warm.
Yeah, so I got lucky Sunday afternoon. It was beautiful. It was 60 degrees, sunny. The wind was barely going, and I got to put some Christmas lights up in my house.
Nice.
And I don't know if you remember this. You might remember this. You and I got to do this last year about this time. We did a little Christmas light review.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
We ranked them.
Right? And we're not doing that again this year because I thought, come on, we can't just do the same thing every
single
year.
Not in the third season where we almost got canceled.
Right. We just came back from getting canceled. We can't just go back to that same well. Yeah. Right? We can't do that.
Right.
But I was thinking about Christmas lights, and this is a little bit of what we talked about last year too, but I think it's real relevant for Christmas. Those Christmas lights, I love looking at them, right? You guys ever drive around with the kids and look at all the Christmas lights?
Yeah, we got some hot spots we visit every year.
Some places go overboard, and I love it. Right?
I would love to be one of those guys that figures out how to do it in sync with music and just go all out. But I've had the same Christmas lights on my house since the first Christmas we lived there, which was 4 years ago, and they have not come down since. Most of them don't work. But I was so proud. They're somehow, I don't even know how it worked, tied to one of my light switches. So I just flip a light switch and they come on. It's Christmas year round.
That's beautiful. And it's probably a whole lot safer than like climbing up and down the roof all the time, right?
One and done.
So let us know in the chat, in the comments, if you are the type of person that leaves your Christmas lights up all year long. I will tell you, the Christmas lights, occasionally I'll take down every once in a while from year to year. What I'm really terrible at is taking the Christmas tree down and all the Christmas decorations.
Because then it's over.
it's a little sad, and it's so much work. Like putting it up is not so bad, right? Because the kids are always excited to help put up the tree and everything, and put the ornaments on and all the lights, and they got real excited about the garland this year, and we've got all the lights. In fact, there's so many lights on it. I put a string of lights on that I didn't test before I put it on, and they were dead, and so I just put more lights on, right? So they're just buried in, right? Yeah. Which I think is the American way. Yeah. That would be the Clark would
pile on.
Clark Griswold would be proud of that, right? Just add them all in there. But man, I think the latest we've ever put away our Christmas tree, and Courtney, correct me, but I think it was June one year.
I was thinking February.
Left it until June. I really want to say there was one year it was February, and Courtney was not happy about that. But I think this year it might have been June, but it was late. And it was like we were playing chicken. Like she would mention, like, all right, we got to take that down this weekend. And I was just like, yeah, we'll totally do that.
At this point, what's the use?
Right. Well,
you're halfway there.
We got to June, and and that was the exact conversation we had. I was like, look, in 6 months,
we're just going to be doing this.
We're going to put it back up. Let's just.
Or if you're one of the crazy people, you do it in October. So even more reason.
Yeah. See, that's not acceptable.
No,
you can't do that.
You leave it up after the fact. Because you're lazy.
Right. And I'm much more comfortable being that guy than the crazy, like, let's celebrate Christmas before
pre-Halloween. Yeah.
Right? Which actually, Steffi's got a great perspective on that. So if you're curious about why she decorates so early for Christmas, Steffi's got a great perspective on it. We don't have time to go into it.
When the Reese's change is when they go from the pumpkins to the Christmas trees.
I mean, that's not bad.
I just thought of that.
That's a good marker.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, in case you're wondering, that's the new rule. When the Reese's change, right? Midweek approved. But if you're the type of person that leaves the lights up all year round, don't feel guilty about that, right? Yeah. That's just practical, and it's safer, right?
Yeah.
Now, don't turn them on. I don't think they need to be turned on, right? I
but
think
you
need to keep them off. There's nothing wrong with leaving them up, right? Your neighbors already have an opinion of you, and leaving those lights up doesn't change that, right? So it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Levi says they've had Christmas lights on one of their trees outside for about 4 years. Way to go, Levi. Just see how long you can keep it up now.
Yeah.
Right? But speaking of Christmas lights, one of the things I like about the Christmas lights is it's just fun to look at, right? But it always makes me think of this verse in John chapter 1. And John chapter 1, if you've never read it, it's a little bit it's a little bit confusing, I think. And you kind of got to read through it a little bit and follow it. But it's always been one of my favorite passages. And it always makes me think of Christmas, right? Very rarely is it really read at Christmas. It's always, the Linus passage from Luke 2, right? And it's always in King James, right? That's your classic, Christmas passage. But Courtney says it might have been April.
Yeah.
So it might not
need
have
to see
been quite
that photo.
bad. Yeah, we'll have to look because it was definitely bad. It was definitely later in
April is tolerable. June is a crime.
I don't know. It was bad. June. I'm thinking it was June. It could be wrong, but she's probably
split the difference.
Yeah, she's probably right. I'll defer. But I love John chapter 1 because the entire book of John is like real deep theology about Jesus, right? If you want to understand the divinity of Jesus and things like that, like it's a great place to start and get confused and ask a lot of questions on, right? I love it for that reason, but it always makes me think of Christmas because it talks about the light, right? It's the beginning of, or it's Jesus coming into the world, right? It doesn't talk about him as a baby. It didn't do none of the traditional Christmas story, but it's Jesus coming into the world, stepping down into human history. And I love the way John describes him. John describes him as the light. Since you got notes that Christine brought us, shout out to Christine. Cody almost didn't have notes today, but Christine saw it on the printer and walked all the way up here to the studio to bring it to him.
Midweek MVP this week.
Right? Absolutely. Yeah, go ahead and read John, I think it's 1:4-5.
That's
read
great.
That for us.
In him was life, and that life was the light of all people. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it.
See, I always love that phrase. The light shines
mystical.
in the darkness. Right? It does. It seems like... mystical is a good word. Yeah. That's a fantastic word. What I always love about that is this whole picture, like if you think about, there's this separation between the Old and the New Testament, right? That represents about 400 years where God wasn't speaking to prophets or nothing, right? God isn't speaking to people or giving any kind of new revelation for 400 years until Jesus shows up, right? Which is where John 1 picks us up. And God starts to implement his plan to redeem all of humanity by sending Jesus as a baby, right? Probably
6 pound, 8 ounce.
6 pound, 8 ounce golden fleece diapers. I was so happy when Dustin referenced that a couple weeks ago. It was so good. And I told him later, look, man, just go ahead and enjoy the movie, because anybody that's going to get offended by it won't understand it, right? It's okay, right? And that, of all the things that are acceptable to reference in the movie, like that's one,
it,
right? But 8 pounds, 6 ounce golden fleece diapers. Don't even know a word. Yeah. Shout out to Ricky Bobby. Thank you, Dustin, for bringing that into our service a couple weeks ago. I should go back and watch it. It was a fantastic message. And if I don't know if I can tell you to go watch Talladega Nights. I'm going to tell you to watch Talladega Nights. It's a fantastic movie. It's hilarious.
They're praying in that scene, so
right?
It's a Christian movie.
Yeah, they are praying. They're sitting down. They're praying. It's great, right?
Over Mountain Dew and Skittles and waffles.
Don't think less of me because of how much I enjoy that movie. It's a fantastic movie. But man, how did I get there? Oh, because the 8 pounds, 6 ounce.
Yeah.
Baby Jesus, right? So God implements his plan of sending his son to redeem all of humanity and provide a way, for forgiveness and salvation. And the way John describes it is just so much more different from the way everybody else does, right? He really gets to the core and the theory behind why God sent Jesus, right? What was the purpose? And I think verse 5 really lays it out. It says, the light was shining in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it, right? So Jesus stepped down into a dark world. And I think we have a tendency to look around our world now and just think, it's so dark, world's gotten so much worse, throughout history. And maybe in some ways, but if you really break it down, the world that Jesus was born into, all right, and stepped down into, the time that he was born, like, is it really that much darker than where we're at now? Like, I mean, is where we're at now that much darker than that moment, right?
No.
And I think we have a tendency to kind of terminalize and think we're just in a worse place than we were, back then. But I mean, there's a reason that God chose that moment in that time, right? But I always love that phrase, the light shines in the darkness and the darkness has not overcome it. And for me, that's what those Christmas lights always tend to represent, right? Maybe that's just because, I've grown up in church and, you can find, reasons to be reminded of things. But man, it's always such a great reminder that there is light in this world. Like, it's not all dark, right? And that's what I always think of when I see those Christmas lights. And I think there's this neat thing that happens around Christmas time, and I don't think it's because of the lights, but the lights certainly help. There's a neat thing that happens around Christmas time where people who are not church people, right, or maybe are not even believers, they tend to be so much more receptive to the gospel and the things of Christ, right?
Similar to the Easter season, I would say.
Yeah. People are just open and receptive because so much of Christmas is, still, they still understand that culturally it's rooted, in Christian tradition. Like, maybe they didn't grow up in it, but they still have some understanding just because it's permeated our culture that this is a Christian religion is probably the wrong word, but it's a sacred time. People get really reverent around Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Not even meaning to. They just do it. And I think the coolest thing about that is that gives us an opportunity to show people that light, right? Because Jesus took it a step further in Matthew 5, and I don't know the chronology of when these were written, right? But Jesus says it this way in Matthew chapter 5. It's part of the Sermon on the Mount, which Jesus said this before John wrote what he wrote. So, but John 14, Jesus kind of I think maybe takes it a step further and takes it a step beyond himself, right? So John says that Jesus himself was the light, right? But then Jesus describes it this way. He says, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven."
Mm-hmm.
The coolest thing about that is, one, John starts and he explains, okay, Jesus is the light, right? He's the light that shines in the darkness. Darkness has not overcome it. That's the entire purpose. Jesus came to bring light, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Jesus, right, flips it a little bit, continues that light metaphor and says, no, it's you.
Yeah.
You are the light, right? And he's talking to his would-be followers, right? He's speaking to people that, ended up following him, before his death, and then probably after, people that eventually became the first century church. And he says, you are the light of the world. So he takes it even further, and he says, not only am I the light, right? But he says, you are the light.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that's I think a call for us to live up to. Of we carry the light of Jesus, right?
Yeah.
As followers of Christ, it's our responsibility to make people, or to let people see the light of Jesus in us,
Mm-hmm.
right? And man, what better time than during this Christmas season,
Yeah. What better gift
right?
could you give?
Oh man,
That's a sermon series.
that
right
was
there.
good. Well, next year,
Yeah.
right? Dustin, you can have that. We won't make you pay royalties on that one.
We might.
Right. Cody might, yeah. But man, that's where I really want us to focus in this Christmas season. So we'll be back next week this isn't our last midweek of the year, but it's close.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be taking a little bit of break for Christmas time and all that good stuff, Christmas and New Year's and all those good things. But man, as we go throughout this Christmas season, as followers of Christ, we carry the light of Jesus, right? That's part of our purpose on this earth, is to shine that light of Jesus, right?
And if we don't, it should be a wake-up call that we
Mm-hmm.
should.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, how many people in your world are living in darkness, right? How many people in your workplace, or maybe people in your family, right? That people just need hope.
Mm-hmm.
One of the coolest things is, if you've never done this, you should definitely try it. Get into the darkest room in your house that you can find, right? Get as dark as it can. Block out the windows.
That's where the spiders are. I'm not going there.
All right, maybe the second darkest
Okay.
room in your Go into some dark place. If you've never tried this, you need to try it. It's the greatest thing. And just light a candle, like one single candle, and it doesn't matter how small that candle is. I mean, that light permeates
Mm-hmm.
throughout that entire darkness. And so there are people in our world that feel like they're living in that darkness. I think it's later in John chapter 1. I can't find it now, but it's not there. I think it's in Isaiah. Couldn't remember. If you know where it is, or look it up and find it, it is. I think it is Isaiah. It's a reference to Jesus and says, "The people living in darkness have seen a great light." Right? I really want to say it's Isaiah. Somebody look that up for me and tell me where that is. But that's what our job is to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is to be that light, right? And the song that we sang in Sunday school, right? This little light of mine. I'm not going to sing it. You're not going to get me to sing it.
I was thinking, heaven, let your light shine down.
I mean, that's a good one.
Just for that
I mean,
intro riff with the yeah.
Yeah. I was going a little bit different. I went a little different way. I was also thinking "Shine, Jesus, Shine."
That's a good one.
Man, apparently I grew up way too in church, like a lot too in church. I'm so glad you mentioned that. That's fantastic. There's plenty of people that are watching that are like, I have no idea what song you just referenced.
Maybe we should be canceled.
Not yet. Maybe in the new year.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But think about that this Christmas season. Is how can you be a light and shine the light of Jesus, right, this Christmas season? Because there are definitely people in our world that need a little bit of hope,
Mm-hmm.
right? And maybe they don't even know it, right? Maybe they don't even realize the kind of hope that they need, right? Maybe people have been people in your family, people in your work, have been putting their hope in their job or in their family, in other things, whatever it is. And people need to see the light of Jesus. And I'm going to give you a real practical way you can do that, right? Easiest thing in the world, right? I'll give you 2 ways to do it, right? Number one,
I'll give you one if he doesn't take mine. Take it. He just did.
I took it. I knew I was going to take it.
Invite him to church this Sunday.
Right? You can invite him to church this Sunday, right? There's going to be, there's food, fun, festivities.
Yeah.
Any other? I was going to say, never mind. Food, fun, festivities. I want to say Santa's workshop, something like that.
There will be carolers.
There will be carolers. There will be snow, one way or another. And you know what? Just something happens even just by people coming up the mountain, right? I think people, when you get them around people that are in love with Jesus and following Jesus, like that kind of joy is contagious and infectious, and any other gross
unspeakable
words
joy.
It is unspeakable joy sometimes. I was going to say transmissible, and that's not.
Doesn't feel right. I don't know what it means, but it doesn't feel right.
That's not it. That wasn't the right word. Man, if only we made notes that I stuck to. That would make a lot more sense. John says when the Little Debbie trees show up in stores, that's when it's Christmas time.
I have to avoid the stores when those show up.
That's probably safer.
So
or if you're,
I wouldn't know.
Or if you're Carly, you just post on Facebook about how you can't find
the mega ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then sometimes they just magically show up for him. It's amazing. You people got to stop supporting Carly in this habit. It's not a good thing. People have no idea what we're talking about. That's okay. Courtney says Isaiah 9:2. I knew it was in Isaiah. Way to go. That's why I married her. That's fantastic. But think about how you can bring light to people in your world this Christmas season, right? Easiest thing, invite them to church. Second easiest thing, actually probably even easier.
Invite them to church again.
Invite them every single week until they say yes. And then when they say no, kidnap them and bring them anyways, right?
That's right.
You can invite them online, right? Invite them to watch a service online. Share an episode of Midweek Motivation with them. Share, one of the good ones, not one of the other ones. I'll let you decide. But share one of our services. Invite them to church to watch online. There's somebody in your life that needs a little bit of light, needs a little bit of hope, and you can be the person that brings that light to them, right? So think about that. Who can you bring some light to this Christmas season? Maybe it's somebody at work, maybe it's somebody in your family, but you need to bring the light of Jesus to somebody in your life. We should put that on a T-shirt. We should get canceled. I was telling Courtney the other day, I told her, I said, we need to just make a shirt that's it's got a little check mark on it that just says we put that on a T-shirt. That's the shirt we need to make.
That would sell.
And then we've just covered all of them.
Yeah.
Right? That's all the best ones. So if you would buy that shirt, right? Put in the comments how much you would pay for that shirt, because we know you would buy it, right? Just how much would you pay for it, right? John says we can't cancel this, singing or not. I mean, people can try, but I think we'll be all right.
We'll still show up.
Yeah, we'll show up. We'll just do it for ourselves. But thank you so much for joining us for another week. We missed you. We will be back next week. Actually, you may or may not know this, we actually sent a team to Australia on a missions trip, and so we get to have a couple folks from our Australia missions team that are going to come on and talk to us about their experience, what they saw there. I'm hoping for pictures of kangaroos.
Or koalas.
Or koalas. Ooh, koalas. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping I have some good koala or... I hit a button. I thought I just ruined everything. Oh, that was close. I just had a small heart attack. So make sure you join us next week for Midweek Motivation. We get to hear from our Australia team. Come this Friday if you're in town.
Yeah.
Come this Friday. If you're not in town, just drive in. It's Friday night.
Yeah.
Come hang out with us for Wonder, Christine Kane, Lisa Harper, and John Reddick. And then join us for Sunday, Christmas on the Mountain, this Sunday, the 15th, 9 and 10:30. And the festivities start right after the 9 o'clock service. So you can come to either service. You won't miss anything. It's going to be a great time. And pray for good weather, because it's going to be a good time.
And for the skit.
Right.
that all kids stay on stage if they're supposed to. I don't know.
Don't jump off the stage. There's going to be some chaos, and I'm looking forward to the chaos. So
That's just them shining their light.
right, exactly, and they're going to do it, and they're going to do it well. So thanks so much for joining us. Have a great week, and stay motivated.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, when you're feeling down and motivated in the midweek, we got the guys here to make your life complete. Little John, Brandon, Cody, Carly, they're coming in to keep you motivated all week. New episode, same time every week. Don't gotta wait long for the next one to release. So don't go away, sit down, take a seat, enjoy midweek motivation with John and Carly. Hey.
Midweek motivation.
Let's go!